First contact. Gone wrong Commander Zex stood on the bridge of his warship. His four arms crossed over his chest. The Zarkon Empire had conquered 1,000 worlds. No one had ever stopped them. Today, they would add Earth to their collection. "Sir, we have reached the human border," his officer said. Zex laughed. It was a cold, harsh sound. "These humans have only been in space for 50 years. They are babies. Send the message." The message was simple. Every conquered race heard it before they died. "People of Earth, you have 1 hour. Surrender or be destroyed. This is your only warning." The bridge fell silent. Everyone waited for Earth's reply. Usually planets begged for mercy. Some tried to negotiate, others cried. But Earth did something different. A single ship appeared on their scanners. "Sir, one human vessel approaching," the officer reported. His voice sounded confused. Just one ship, sir." The entire Zarkon fleet burst into laughter. They had brought 500 warships. Each ship carried weapons that could burn entire cities. And the humans sent one ship? This would be easier than they thought. But then the scanning officer stopped laughing. His green skin turned pale white. His 3 eyes went wide with shock. Sir, you need to see this," he whispered. The main screen lit up with data. The human ship was huge. No, huge was the wrong word. It was massive. The biggest Zarkon battleship measured 1 kilometer long. This human ship, 15 kilometers. It looked like someone had taken a mountain, covered it in metal, and taught it to fly. "Impossible," Zex muttered. "The energy readings must be wrong." "I checked 3 times, sir." The officer's voice shook. "That ship is generating more power than a star. I don't understand how it's not exploding." The human ship moved closer. It moved slowly, like it had all the time in the universe. Like it wasn't facing 500 enemy ships. The name painted on its side became visible. Titan-01 Prometheus. Then something strange happened. Every warning system on every Zarkon ship started screaming. Alarms blared, lights flashed red. The computers couldn't understand what they were seeing. "Sir, the human ship is sending a message." On the screen appeared a human. He sat in a chair, relaxed. He was drinking something from a cup. "Coffee," the translator said. Behind him, other humans worked at their stations. Some were laughing at something. One was eating what looked like a sandwich. "Zarkon Fleet," the human said calmly. "I am Captain Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You have entered human space without permission. You have threatened our world. This is unacceptable," Zex snarled. "You have 1 ship, human. We have 500. You will—" "I wasn't finished," Captain Chen interrupted. He took another sip of coffee. "You have 60 seconds to turn around and leave. This is your only warning." The bridge exploded in angry shouts. "How dare this human? How dare he threaten the mighty Zarkon Empire? With 1 ship, all ships prepare to fire." Zex roared. His pride burned like fire. "We will teach these humans about respect." 500 ships powered up their weapons. Missile tubes opened, energy cannons charged, plasma torpedoes loaded. The space around them glowed with deadly energy. But Captain Chen just smiled. He set down his coffee cup. 40 seconds remaining. "Sir," the scanning officer grabbed Zex's arm. "The Titan. It's doing something. Panels are opening all over its hull. I'm counting. Sir, I can't count them all. Thousands of weapon ports, maybe tens of thousands." Zex felt something cold in his chest. It was a feeling he hadn't felt in years. Fear. 20 seconds. Captain Chen said softly. The Titan began to glow. Not like a ship powering weapons. Like a small sun being born. Energy readings went off the charts. The scanners couldn't process the information. They just showed error messages. 10 seconds. Zex had 2 choices, run away and face shame, or fight and probably die. His pride made the choice for him. "Fire everything," he screamed. 10,000 missiles launched at once. Energy beams filled space with deadly light. The greatest military force in the galaxy unleashed hell upon one single ship. Captain Chen finished his coffee. "Time's up." The Titan's glow became blinding. Something impossible happened next. Something that would haunt every Zarkon warrior for the rest of their lives. Something that would change the galaxy forever. But what exactly happened when humanity's Titan finally fought back? That terrifying answer would shake the very foundations of galactic power. The impossible defense, 10,000 missiles raced through space toward the Titan. Energy beams painted the darkness with colors of death. The Zarkon fleet had fired everything. Commander Zex watched the display screen, waiting to see the human ship explode into nothing. But the Titan didn't explode. It didn't even move. A blue shimmer appeared around the massive ship. The missiles hit this barrier and simply vanished. Not exploded, not deflected. They just stopped existing. The energy beam struck next, but instead of burning through, the blue shield absorbed them. It drank the energy like a hungry beast. "What is that thing?" Zex whispered. On the screen, Captain Chen stood up from his chair. "That was rude," he said simply. "Fire control, please return their energy, with interest." The blue shield pulsed once. Then it fired back. Every bit of energy the Zarkons had shot came screaming back at them. But it was stronger now. 20 times stronger. 3 Zarkon ships exploded instantly. 5 more lost their engines and spun helplessly into space. The rest barely raised their shields in time. "Impossible!" Zex slammed his fist on his command chair. "No shield can do that. It breaks the laws of physics." His science officer was scanning frantically. "Sir, I've never seen anything like this. They call it an Aegis shield. It doesn't just block attacks. It eats them. It feeds on them. The more we shoot, the stronger it gets." Inside the Titan, the human crew remained calm. Some were still playing cards in the corner. One young officer was video calling his daughter on Earth, showing her the alien fleet through the window. Nobody looked worried. Nobody looked scared. "Should we show them the cannons, Captain?" the weapons officer asked. She sounded bored. "Not yet, Lisa. Let them try again. Everyone deserves a second chance." Zex heard this conversation. His rage burned hotter. These humans were mocking them, the mighty Zarkon Empire, all ships ramming speed. He commanded, "If weapons won't work, we'll crush them with mass." 50 small attack ships accelerated to maximum speed. They were suicide runners, volunteers who would die for the Empire. They struck the Titan at different points, expecting to punch through its hull. They bounced off like rubber balls. The pilots screamed in confusion as their ships tumbled backward. The Titan's hull didn't have a single scratch, not even paint damage. "Sir," the scanning officer's voice cracked. "The Titan's hull, it's not made of normal metal. The computer says it's some kind of compressed matter. Each square meter weighs as much as a mountain. Those ships might as well have rammed into a planet." Captain Chen appeared on screen again. "Are you done? Because my coffee's getting cold and I'd like to finish it." "You dare mock us?" Zex roared. "We are the Zarkon Empire. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. And we are humanity," Chen replied quietly. "We conquered death itself to reach the stars. Your threats mean nothing to us." The human captain nodded to someone off screen. "Show them 1%. A single cannon extended from the Titan's hull. It was small compared to the massive ship. Almost cute, it hummed quietly, building power. "Sir, there's a Zarkon mining station on that moon." An officer pointed at the screen. 100,000 kilometers away. Should we warn them to... The cannon fired. A thin beam of white light crossed space in an instant. The moon-based mining station, home to 10,000 Zarkon workers, turned to vapor. The moon itself cracked in half. The bridge of Zex's ship went completely silent. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. That was 1%, Captain Chen said. One cannon, 1% power. We have 8,000 more cannons. Would you like to see 2%? Zex's throat felt dry. His hearts, he had 2 pounded in his chest. But before he could answer, new ships appeared on the scanner. Many ships. The Emperor himself had arrived. Emperor Krax's mega fleet dropped out of hyperspace. 1,000 of the Empire's finest warships. The Emperor's personal dreadnought was 5 kilometers long, covered in weapons that had burned entire worlds. "Stand down, Commander Zex," the Emperor's voice boomed across the communication channel. "You have failed. I will handle these humans myself." The Emperor appeared on screen. He was ancient, powerful, and had never lost a battle in 300 years. "Humans," he said, "you have one impressive ship, but I have brought 1,000. You cannot win. Surrender now, and I will make your deaths quick." Captain Chen sat back down in his chair. He picked up his coffee and took a slow sip. Then he smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who knew a secret. "Who said we only have one ship?" The space behind the Titan began to shimmer. Reality seemed to bend and twist. Shapes appeared from nothing. Huge shapes. More Titans. One by one, they appeared. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 Titan-Class warships hung in space. Each one 15 kilometers of impossible power. Each one carrying enough firepower to crack planets. Together they could burn solar systems. Emperor Krax's translator stopped working. Not because it was broken, but because the Emperor's mind couldn't form words. For the first time in his long life, he felt true terror. The human captain finished his coffee. "Now then, shall we discuss your surrender?" Humanity's secret revealed. Emperor Krax stared at 50 Titan-class warships. His ancient mind tried to understand what he was seeing. Each ship was impossible. 50 impossible ships meant the universe had gone insane. "How?" was all he could whisper. Captain Chen stood up. The main screen switched to show him in full view. Behind him, the bridge of the Titan looked almost peaceful. Officers worked quietly. Someone was watering a small plant in the corner. It looked nothing like a ship at war. "You want to know how?" Chen asked. "Very well. You deserve to know why your empire ends today." The screen changed. It showed Earth 50 years ago, a beautiful blue planet, alone and peaceful. Then it showed a small alien ship crashing in the ocean. The ship was damaged, dying. Humans saved the pilot inside. Her name was Sarah, Chen explained. "She was running from you, from the Zarkon Empire. She warned us you were coming, told us we had 50 years, maybe less." The screen showed humans talking to Sarah. She was crying, begging them to run, to hide, to do anything but fight. "The Zarkons were too strong," she said. "No one could stop them. But humans don't run," Chen continued. "We asked Sarah one question. What would happen if we lost?" The screen showed Sarah's answer. Slavery, death, children taken as soldiers. Entire cities burned for sport. The complete destruction of human culture. "So we made a choice." Chen's voice grew harder. "We wouldn't build a normal fleet. We wouldn't play by the galaxy's rules. We would build monsters. Ships so powerful that no one would ever threaten Earth again." The Emperor finally found his voice. "Impossible! The resources alone would bankrupt 100 worlds." Chen smiled. "You think like an empire. We thought like a species fighting for survival. Every nation on Earth united. Every resource went to the Titans. We stopped fighting each other. We had a real enemy now." The screen showed Earth's construction yards. But they weren't on the planet. They were inside Jupiter's moons, hidden from scanning. Millions of humans working in secret. Children growing up knowing aliens were coming to kill them. Entire generations dedicated to one goal, survival. Each Titan has a power source you can't understand, Chen explained. "We captured black holes. We put them in bottles and made them our slaves. Each ship regenerates itself using space dust and energy. They can fight forever. They can't be destroyed." "That's not possible," one of Krax's officers shouted. "Black holes can't be controlled." "You're right," Chen nodded. "They can't be controlled, but they can be convinced. We didn't tame them. We made deals with them. We fed them, and they feed us power." The 50 Titans moved into formation. They formed a perfect sphere around the Zarkon fleets. Weapons ports opened on every ship. Millions of them. The amount of firepower could destroy entire star systems. But then something else happened. The Titans started to glow. Not with weapons fire, with something else. They were connecting to each other. Energy beams linked ship to ship, creating a web of power. No, Emperor Krax gasped. They're not 50 ships. They're one ship in 50 parts. Smart Emperor, Chen said. When connected, the Titans share everything. Power, shields, computing power. Damage to one is spread to all, and all can focus fire through one. We call it the Unity Protocol. To demonstrate, one Titan fired a beam, but the beam was fed by all 50 ships. It carved through empty space, and a distant asteroid field simply ceased to exist. Hundreds of asteroids turned to atoms in 1 second. The Emperor's pride finally broke. Why show us this? Why not just destroy us? Because we're not like you, Chen replied. We don't want to conquer. We don't want to rule. We just want to be left alone. But we needed the galaxy to know something. Know what? Chen's expression became deadly serious. That humans are not prey. We are not victims. We are the species that looked at the dark forest of the galaxy and decided to become the scariest thing in it. Inside his command ship, Emperor Krax felt his legs shaking. His great empire, built over 1,000 years, could be destroyed in minutes. These humans held his life in their hands. I offer our surrender, the Emperor said. The words tasted like poison. The Zarkon Empire surrenders to Earth. But before Chen could respond, every scanner in both fleets screamed alerts. Something massive was coming, something that made even the Titans look small. 1,000,000 ships dropped out of hyperspace. They blocked out the stars themselves. Each ship was identical, mechanical, cold. No life signs. Just machines built for one purpose, destruction. The Collective, Emperor Krax whispered in horror. The Machine Empire. They heard about your Titans. They've come to destroy you before you become a threat. The Collective's message was simple. One word, broadcast on all channels. Exterminate. Captain Chen looked at the 1,000,000 ships. Then he looked at his coffee cup. It was empty. He sighed and turned to his crew. Looks like we need to show them the real weapons. Sarah, begin Prometheus configuration. The 50 Titans began to move toward each other. They were combining into something bigger, something that shouldn't exist. Emperor Krax's computers couldn't process what they were seeing. His officers were praying to gods they didn't believe in, because humanity's true power was about to be revealed. The galaxy learns to fear humanity. The 50 Titans moved together like a dance. They connected, merged, and transformed. Metal flowed like liquid. Ships became parts of something greater. The galaxy watched in terrified silence as humanity's ultimate weapon was born. The Prometheus configuration stood complete. It was the size of Earth's moon, a massive structure that hurt to look at. Reality bent around it. Space itself seemed afraid of what humans had created. The Collective's 1,000,000 ships opened fire immediately. No warning, no words. Just death. 1,000,000,000 energy beams and missiles filled space with light. It was beautiful and terrible. The amount of firepower could have destroyed 1,000 planets. The Prometheus configuration raised one hand. Yes, it had hands now. It caught the entire attack in its palm. All that destructive energy just stopped. Then the hand closed into a fist, and the energy disappeared. Impossible, Emperor Krax whispered. His 1,000 ships were retreating slowly, trying not to draw attention. Captain Chen's voice echoed across all channels. Collective, you have made an error. You came to exterminate us, but you forgot to ask one question. What happens when humans really get angry? The Prometheus configuration pointed one finger at the Collective fleet. The tip of the finger opened, revealing a weapon that shouldn't exist. The causality cannon, a weapon that didn't destroy things. It removed them from existence itself. Past, present, and future. Fire, Chen said softly. A beam of nothing shot forward. It wasn't light. It wasn't energy. It was the absence of everything. Where it touched, things stopped existing. Not destroyed, not vaporized. They were erased from reality itself. 100,000 collective ships vanished. The universe forgot they ever existed. The only proof they were ever there was the memory in the minds of those watching. The Collective tried to adapt. They were machines, after all. They learned and evolved. But how do you adapt to not existing? How do you defend against being erased from reality? They tried retreating into hyperspace. The Prometheus configuration opened portals in front of them. They flew into their own destruction. They tried scattering in all directions. The configuration grew more arms, each one reaching across impossible distances to grab and crush them. Please, the collective broadcast. Machines begging. We surrender. We were wrong. Humanity too strong. Please stop. Chen appeared on screen again. He looked tired but determined. You came here to exterminate us, to kill our children, to burn our world. Tell me why we should show mercy. Because you are not like us. The collective responded. You are not machines. You have mercy. You have compassion. Yes, Chen nodded. We do, and that's why you'll live. But you'll live with a message for the galaxy. The Prometheus configuration released its weapons. The remaining collective ships, about 300,000, hung helplessly in space. They were allowed to live but were forever changed. Each ship now carried a message burned into their hulls. Earth is protected. Go, Chen commanded. Tell every empire, every species, every living thing in this galaxy, Earth wants peace. But if you bring war, you'll find something worse than death. You'll find humanity. The collective fled. They jumped to hyperspace so fast that space itself cracked. They would spread the message to every corner of the galaxy. The humans were not to be touched. Emperor Krax and his fleet hadn't moved. They were too terrified. The Emperor, who had conquered 1,000 worlds, was shaking like a child. Great humans, he said, his voice barely working. The Zarkon Empire offers friendship, alliance. We will help protect Earth's borders. Chen looked amused. We don't need protection, Emperor, but we accept friendship. Go home. Tell your people that humans are friends to those who want peace, but to those who want war. The Prometheus configuration separated back into 50 Titans. Each ship was undamaged, unfired, like the battle had been nothing but light exercise. Well, Chen continued, let's hope they're smart enough not to find out. 3 months later, the galaxy had changed forever. The Galactic Council created new laws. No ship could go within a light year of Earth without permission. Some species started religions worshipping humans as gods of war. Others told scary stories to their children about the monsters from Earth. The Zarkon Empire became Earth's first ally, not because they wanted to, but because being Earth's friend was better than being Earth's enemy. Emperor Krax even sent his youngest son to Earth as an ambassador. The boy came back talking about something called ice cream and video games. On Earth, life continued normally. Children played in parks. Families had dinners. Nobody talked about the Titans watching over them from space. It was just normal life, protected by the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. Captain Chen retired after the battle. He bought a small house by the ocean. Sometimes on clear nights he looked up at the stars. He could see the Titans up there, little dots of light standing guard. His granddaughter asked him once, Grandpa, are there monsters in space? Chen smiled and pulled her close. Yes, sweetheart, there are monsters in space, but don't worry. We're the scariest monsters of all, and we're on your side. Somewhere in deep space, Titan 01 Prometheus floated silently. Inside, the new captain sat in the command chair. She was young, born after the Titans were built. She'd never known Earth without its protectors. A small alarm beeped. Another species had discovered FTL travel. They would find Earth eventually. They always did. The captain smiled and sipped her coffee. Send them the standard message. Earth welcomes friends. Earth destroys enemies. Choose wisely. The message went out, translated into 1,000 languages. And somewhere in the galaxy, another species had to make the most important choice of their existence. Be humanity's friend. Or discover why the galaxy learned to fear the children of Earth. The Titans stood ready. They would wait forever if needed, because that's what protectors do. They stand, they watch, they wait, and when danger comes, they remind the universe why humanity survived, when so many said they couldn't. The end.